Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Borna Nazzari, the CEO and founder of Hog Media. He's going to chat to us today about his company a little bit. We're going to get to know him and just have a good time. So thank you so much for joining us today, Borna. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. No complaints. Thank you so much for having me and spending some time here, Izzy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. So tell me, what do you guys do at Hog Media?
We connect sports fans to blue chip brands through their favorite creators. We saw a big gap in the YouTube audio, digital media market in terms of seeing a lot of these creators, influencers having these niche engaged cult like communities, but they were
Mhm.
struggling a little bit how to monetize and leverage their brands. At Hog Media, we help that. We bridge that gap between these brands and these influencers. We consult for brands, we consult for talent, and we bridge it, and everyone's happy at the end of the day. So that's the bird's eye, high level view of what we do at Hog Media.
Okay, cool. So then how do you do it? Do you guys like run like an agency or?
Yeah, so there's kind of you know two to three different aspects of our company. I'd say
Okay.
one major area, department, and an area that we're fastly growing in is that agency side of things. Not
Hmm.
only representing talent, right, in terms of handling a lot of their brand partnerships and business, whether that be consulting for bigger agencies that represent celebrities. We also represent our own exclusive clients on YouTube. But also,
Hmm.
we've also started to develop into a brand agency where we also consult for brands and help them activate with a lot of the talents that we have access to. So not only that we have a brand agency side of our business, we also have a talent agency side of business. So we kind of
Yeah.
handle A to Z. The other side of the business that's a little bit still premature that we're working on is building our own intellectual property side, meaning we
Okay.
are in the process of becoming a media production company as well, building our own podcast, building our own productions that kind of link a lot of professional athletes to a lot of the Hog Media direct influencers. So as you can imagine, we're doing a lot, but right now the
Yeah.
focus is definitely scaling and growing our agency side of business.
Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you why media. So um you kind of brushed on that, which is really cool. It's exciting thing. So when are you looking to sort of expand into the media side?
Yeah, I would say, quarter 4 of 2024. We
Okay.
tried to do it a little bit last year. I think sometimes as a CEO, you get excited, you want to jump into things very fast, but need to be a little bit
Yeah.
more calculated and diligent by the way you do things. So definitely, I would say the end of 2024, maybe synchronous to the launch of the NFL season, August, September of 2024. It's kind of when we want to start
Nice.
building some productions out. So that's the timeline as of right now. But as you know, the startup culture, things change every single second.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. But I love that you touched on the fact that you started it, it didn't work out, and you didn't give up. You're just like, okay, maybe not yet, and you're recalculating, you're moving on. I think that's the way startups survive. You have to adapt or die. Um, so big ups to you for
No
that.
doubt. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, cool. So then, what's the history? How did you start Hug Media, and why?
It's a great question. So there's always a story, right? So for me,
Yes.
I came up at a big agency. I was
Okay.
doing marketing. I was doing marketing, endorsements, partnerships for some of the highest profile basketball NBA players in the world. When I was
Cool.
there, I naturally learned to deal and work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I developed a lot of brand relationships on the way. While
Mm.
this was going on, I also was a YouTuber. Not a lot of people know this. I was becoming an influencer. I started my own YouTube channel. It started to
Okay.
grow pretty fast. In turn, I saw I have a lot of these brand relationships. Let me see if I can leverage them into my own brand, into my own YouTube channel, and see how that
Yeah.
converts, to see how this niche engaged cult like community that I've built, how that responds to any brand activation. I quickly
Yeah.
saw that it did very well. It performed very strongly, contrasted to traditional linear marketing in the athlete world. So what
Yeah.
I did was then I started reaching out to other creators and I said, hey, I think I have a secret sauce here, a recipe. Let me help you with your own channel and help you monetize. It quickly
Okay.
became a successful business model. So I left my job there and I created Hog Media. And now we consult for about 100 clients on the YouTube side of things. And we're growing on the athlete, influencer, celebrity side of things as well. So that's
Mm.
kind of the secret sauce. I got experience from my former employer. I saw how this can be applied to a market that was newer, less outdated, and transforming
Yeah.
very fast. And we're just moving with the times now.
Love that. I love that. Back to the adapt or die. You're really good at
You have
it.
to. You have to. I don't know if you see the eye bags. It's leaning more than dying right now. Adapting or die, huh?
I've been stressing about mine, like, oh my gosh. But it's what we
Oh
have to
yeah,
do to survive. So it's okay, you're good.
it, it's a lifestyle, Lizzie. It's a lifestyle. You just got to embrace it.
That's true. So why did you choose the name Hog Media? Like why Hog? Is there a reason behind
Yeah,
that?
it's a great question. So it's a long story that goes back to when I was even a really young kid. Parents called
Okay.
me it, friends called me it. It just became kind of a nickname, inside joke, but it kind of just turned into kind of who I was as a brand. The YouTube channel that I began was called The Hog Watch, and it just kind of turned into a brand. Unlike maybe
Yeah.
some of these successful fintech names or whatever, there's not really a aesthetic or interesting
Anything
correlation to
behind
the
it?
name. It's just
Yeah.
how everyone knows me, and I'm like, you know what? Why not? Who cares? It's your business. You can do what you want with it.
That's true. That's really
Yeah,
true. I'm a
yeah.
100% gonna go watch your YouTube videos after this, so I'm just letting you know now.
And enjoy it. Just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
100%, yes. Do you still do content or are you
I, I,
100% like on the business side?
well, I still do content. Obviously working 100+ hours a week. Starting your own company, it becomes a little bit difficult
Yeesh. Yeah.
to consistently post content. So I have a few people who I've hired who post content now on my channel. But
Okay.
occasionally people will still see my face and they're like, "Oh, there's the hog. It's been a while."
There you go.
So, well, I still, but transparently, it's something that I truly still enjoy. And I think one of the
Yeah.
biggest things about the creator marketplace is the reason I'm doing this is because I love it. When I
Yeah.
was, making YouTube videos, streaming, podcasting, it felt like an escape from reality. So whenever I have a sliver of time, I still try and do that because it's true enjoyment.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Awesome. So then, what's your vision for Hog Media? What do you think the end goal, or what do you want to get out of it in the end?
Yeah, I think there's a few end goals. I think one, I want to be a full service A to Z agency that not only, represents athletes, celebrities, but really helps represent the media side of the
Mhm.
industry. Big time content creators. But additionally, I want to change the landscape of regional sports networks. And what I
Okay.
mean by that is, in the United States, we've seen a lot of local TV markets, networks going bankrupt due to the lack of demand from any of their productions. And we've
Mm.
started to see a lot of traction and visibility with a lot of these creators who cover those teams that we once saw on TV. So I really
Yeah.
want to realize and sell to these TV networks and these ideas that where all these people currently exist are not on TV, but they're on YouTube. And this is where you're going
Yeah.
to get all your viewership and eyeballs. So I think one of the biggest visions of mine is to really transform the landscape of regional sports networks. And also, it's really to allow for these creators who have built something special to live off of that. I think so many
Mm.
people have not been able to realize that the brand that they've built has become so powerful when it comes to the communities that they reach, the people that they reach, the lives that they're able to change. But they just
Yeah.
think they're YouTubers and that's it. They're not,
That's
they're
true.
brands. How do we allow them to maximize that? That's what we do at Hog Media.
Love that. I love that. I always say that I love disruptors. I feel like industries constantly need disruption. People are, things have been doing, sorry, people have been doing things for so long, like in the same way. It's so refreshing to find people that are like, why don't we try something else? If this formula
Right.
isn't working, then you got to disrupt the market. So, I'm excited to see what you have in store.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So then what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing at Hog Media at the moment?
It's a good question. I think, I'd say one challenge is overload of campaigns. I think one area that we've been really good at is we're pretty good relationship builders. We've developed a lot of great relationships with buyers, customers, vendors, brands. But
Yeah.
now it's like once you're able to get this business, that's one step of the way. How can you
Yeah.
actually maximize these campaigns for these brands? How can you actually make sure that they are 100% happy and get a good return on their advertisement spend? And
Mm,
I come from a background of sales. I'm very good at developing these relationships, doing big deals, partnerships. But one area that we've had a challenge with is how can we get enough creative minds to really make sure that these campaigns are executed in a successful, timely, but also creative in manner. So I think
mhm.
right now, as our business starts to grow and scale, we're certainly looking for people who can help from a creative standpoint, from a managing a campaign standpoint, who can go
Okay.
to a brand and say, hey, here's an idea I have with this. Instead of giving you $10,000 here, I think we should give them $10,000 here because I think that will
Yeah.
be more successful from your ad spend. Because it's one thing
Mhm.
for to get one-time business from any client, but how do you get recurring business? How can you actually develop a relationship that allows both entities to grow? Of course, it's the billion-dollar question, but I think there are people who have the billion-dollar answer. You just got to find them.
Nice, nice. That was such a
Yeah.
good pitch. Like I'm sold.
Love it.
All right, cool. So then, what sort of assistance or help would you like from our community of side hustlers?
I mean, I think I kind of hit it on that last question.
You
Create
did.
creative people, creative people who can look at brand X and see how, how much money they're putting into client Z and say, how
Yeah,
can we maximize this campaign for the brand? How can the
yeah,
celebrities, how can the influencers, how can these people be happy as well? But how can the brand be happy and want to go back to Hog Media to do more work with? So I think
yeah,
people who have a legitimate, not only creative mind, but a passion for creativity and managing campaigns, it's not
yeah.
easy, but it's very rewarding if you can see it through. I think that's where immediate help could be needed.
Amazing, awesome. And are you in the market for influencers, or do you think you're kind of overloaded at the moment?
You can never have enough influencers.
Yeah,
If it's a right fit, if it's a talent that justifies putting our blood, sweat, and tears into, if it's a talent that
yeah,
we enjoy working with, that we believe in, I think one area of the business that a lot of people fail to understand is they may see somebody's follower count, they may see somebody and say, "Hey, I want to sign this person," but you don't know how hard that person is to work with. You don't know how
yeah,
hard that person is peculiar and things like that. So it's not only just about sphere of influence, excuse me, but it's about, does that person truly want to get involved in building their brand and defining their legacy? So I think those are two
yeah.
aspects. Always in the marketplace, it just has to be the right fit.
That's true. Ooh, that's very true. You definitely want to find the right fit. Otherwise, it's never going to go anywhere. I feel like that's
Yep,
the case with everything.
yep, yep.
It really is. Okay, cool. And how big is your team? How long has Hug Media been up and running?
Yeah, we've only been up and running for about 8, 9 months now. We have a team of
Okay.
four.
Okay.
Um, we are we are growing fast.
Yeah.
Um, we have a lot of relationships in the space.
Yeah.
We're open for growth. As we said, it just has to be the right fit. We
The
need
right.
people who want to get their hands dirty, like blood, sweat,
Yeah.
and tears, startup culture. Like you, this is an eat what you kill kind of industry, right? Like
Yeah.
you get what you put into it. And
Yeah.
for those who are hustlers, for those who want to see it through, they are going to be very successful, right? It's up to
Yeah.
you, and that's kind of how it is in this business. But it's very exciting, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bona, for your time. Thank you for sharing Hog Media with me and the community. I honestly have really enjoyed interviewing you and getting to know you. I mean, I don't know anything about sports. I'm not gonna be out here saying that, like, oh yeah, you're doing great things for the sports industry. I have no idea, but I trust. You sound passionate about what you do. You know what you do. You have experience and stuff. So I honestly can't wait to see how you impact the industry. Let's disrupt.
Well, I let's disrupt, right? And I appreciate you caring, wanting to learn more about what we're doing. It's a baby right now, but we're feeding the baby pretty fast. So we'll we'll
Let the
we'll
baby
we'll
grow.
see what the future. Let the baby grow, huh?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much for your time, Izzy.